Welcome to the Jerry Graves channel. The channel talks about how to deal with narcissists and everything in between. I want to go ahead and jump straight into the topic. First, I want to say go ahead and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hit the like button and leave a comment. Let's get into it. Toxic people do toxic things. They smoke, they litter, they talk in just disgusting ways. They're always talking about things that are violent. Their sense of humor is usually like putrid. You'll have a lot of times where they'll sit up there and talk about disgusting things like taking a dump and, or, what I mean, just a bunch of things that are just disgusting that most people stay from in conversation. Like they like going there. They like dis, disgusting conversations, and that's what toxic is. It's filth, and you usually don't want to put people who smoke in that category because there's a lot of people who are decent people who smoke, but in general it just goes with that behavior. Like a smoker, you're polluting the air, you're polluting your lungs. A person who does that type of thing will go out and be toxic in other ways. Now, I come from the school of thought that everybody's toxic, so just in general, that's just the rule. But you have people who are worse off than others, and in this video we're talking about people who are worse off than the average person. Usually, they're going to be the people that litter and things like that. Just hearing stuff like that ahead of time, you hear somebody walking around a work center complaining about other people nonstop, or talking about some type of ongoing battle that they have with somebody nonstop. you know those are the people that you stay away from, just in general. Even if you never had a negative conversation with them, they never say anything, they're always nice to you, but at the end of the day, you don't give them company, you don't enable them by acting like they're not a toxic person. They're still spreading toxins around the working environment. Narcissists and psychopaths are usually going to be the people who ruin the bathroom at work, you know, have feces smeared everywhere, or boogers on the wall, peeing on the floor, and things like that. Like, usually, the worse a bathroom is maintained on its own, like, not if they have a person who just is in charge of that, but if the employees are in charge of keeping the bathroom together, the worse that is maintained, the usually the more toxic the environment is. And even if they do have other people who come in and clean the bathrooms for them, but if that if they per se, like, if the cleaning crew doesn't come in for a week or something like that, and then the the bathroom just goes to complete hell. There's shit everywhere, there's shit on the back seat of the toilet, there's you know stuff like that. Like, that's so unnecessary. People know how to clean up after themselves, but toxic people, they are drawn to putrid, disgusting stuff, which is why they can do some disgusting things, to people. So, just if you see something really bad, like in the bathroom, somebody didn't clean up, that that just shows to what extent they are toxic, to what extent they're sick in their mind. I remember when I was a Lyft driver back in the days, like, we would have to, like, park in certain areas when we're picking up people from the airport, and the they would have, like, bathrooms, like porta potties out there, and every time I'd go out there, like, to use the bathroom, there would always be, like, shit, like, literally on the toilet, on the toilet seat, like, shit just everywhere, like, worse than what you would expect a porta potty to be, just like, what the hell? And then everybody, that's the thing that makes everything even more weird, because everybody looks like they're normal. But to take a shit on a toilet seat like that, you can't really point out the person who obviously is doing that just by how they look. And that's the worst part about this, because it's deceptive. You can be the most friendly looking person. You can look like a Pokemon, just friendly and colorful, and be just just filth. You could be that way, and usually it is that way. The most friendly person is the person who's probably going to be taking the shits on the toilet seats. The most friendly looking person, that is, and even acting. So I can't believe the conversation took a turn to like shits on the toilet seat. But that's the main point of the video, is usually you want to pay attention to stuff like that. Just pay very close attention to just the amount of bad habits that a person has, whether even how they eat. And you know there's nothing worse than seeing somebody who's, are they just this overweight person who's stuffing food in their face like nonstop, to the point where you're disturbed by it. Like, don't write off any habits that are toxic and unneeded. Usually is a signal that they're toxic. So I want to go ahead and end this video. It's getting longer than what I expected.